Hi everyone, this is just an additional video that goes along with part of what I'd like you to do for reading today. This is your social studies book, and I just wanted us to kind of go over it so that you know how it's organized and how you'll be looking at it and using it, okay? So everyone got one of these books when you picked up your iPad, so you should have one. If for some reason you didn't get one, please send me a message or call the school and we'll make sure that you get one. Okay, so today I'm just going to open up and show you what the pages look like when you start each chapter of this book. So this says, "Welcome to your book. Your work text is made up of chapters and lessons. Each lesson starts with pages like this." So this is what your chapter will look something like each time you start a new chapter. It says, "Look for these words as you read." So there's different vocabulary words. Oops, I'll move over. There's different vocabulary words here. This is a great way to expand your vocabulary and learn some new words, okay? So that's a place to look at the beginning of each chapter. Then those words will usually be highlighted in yellow in different places in the chapter. It says words with yellow highlight are important social studies words. This sentence with the word will help you understand what the word means. So you'll be able to use the words around the yellow word to figure out the meaning of that word, okay? Reading checks will help you to make sure you understood what you've read. So we talked about this last week. If you're doing some reading and then you get to the end and you're like, I don't know what I read, then maybe you weren't paying attention, or maybe you just need some help with the reading because maybe it's a little bit too hard. But this is a place where it's going to ask you some questions and you can kind of check for yourself and see if you understand what you're reading. Okay, over on this page it says, "This book will give you a lot of chances to figure things out. Then you can show what you have figured out and give your reasons." So we have these things in this book called quests. And it says the quest kickoff will tell you the goal for the quest. So each chapter has a quest and there's a goal that's going to have to do, it's going to have to make you do some thinking in order to achieve the goal. You can get started right away, so it shows you a 1 and how to get started with some brainstorming, and then you just follow your path here, 1, 2, 3. Watch for quest connections all throughout the chapter. So there's different places you can look to make connections with what's going on. The end of the chapter has quest findings. You will write or have a discussion or make something. Share what you figure out with other people. Okay, so that's basically how each chapter is organized, where you're going to be given some information with vocabulary words, you'll be learning some new words, learning some information, and then you'll be asked to go on a quest, okay? So just kind of giving you an overview of what you'll be seeing this year in social studies. I'm going to flip backwards in my book, and this is where I want you guys to be looking today. This is going to be your table of contents. A table of contents is part of a book that happens at the beginning, usually of nonfiction books. Sometimes they happen in fiction books too. And the table of contents is there so that you can figure out what pages you need to go to based on what you want to read. So if I was looking at chapter 1, which I am right here, in the table of contents, I might be thinking to myself, I want to learn about families. And if that's the case, I could see, oh, right here, here's families, and I follow my finger over and I know that I'll need to turn to page 4. If I want to learn about what life was like way back in history compared to now, I might want to go to this page, Life Then and Now. I use my finger and go all the way over, and I know that I'll need to go to page 16. Okay, let's try another one. I'm going to ask you some questions about how to use this, and you can, if it takes you a minute to find the answers, you can pause the video and then start it up once you have your answer, okay? So this is chapter 3, and it's about government, okay? So let's say that you want to know about our government, probably what it is maybe, or what it looks like in our country, but you want to learn more about our government. What page would you turn to? Pause the video if you need to, and then start it up again when you're ready to hear the answer. Okay, here comes the answer. So if you want to learn about our government, you'd find it right here, our government, page 80. Okay, let's try another one. Let's say you want to know about someone named Eleanor Roosevelt. So stop the video and try to figure out what page you would look to find information about Eleanor Roosevelt. Okay, the answer to this one is right here. Eleanor Roosevelt, page 100. So that's where you'd go to find information about her. All right, let's try another one. So I'm going to turn to chapter 5 in the table of contents. Let's say you wanted to know more about what it takes to make a hero. What page would you turn to? Pause the video if you need a second. Okay, so you should have said what makes a hero starts on page 138. All right, where would you look if you wanted to know about heroic leaders? So leaders that are heroes. Pause the video if you need to. All right, you should look right here, and you take your finger over and you'd be going to page 142. Okay, new question. What would you learn about if you turn to page 154? Pause the video if you need to, and then unpause it when you're ready. Okay, in order to figure out what you would learn on page 154, you come down here and find that number, 154, and you take your finger back this time, heroes in science. So the answer to that question would be, you would learn about heroes in science. If you like doing this, it's almost kind of like maybe a guessing game, sort of. Then have some people at home give you some more questions about how to use the table of contents, okay? The other thing I'd like you to try out is go past all of this stuff, maybe kind of look through these pages. At the bottom, this is kind of like the stuff before chapter 1. So at the bottom, you're going to see some strange page numbers. But why don't you guys kind of look through, take a look together at home. And then what I'd like you to do is just read right here together. So you're going to read this poem, and that's on page number 1. Okay? So your job after this video is just to kind of flip through and take a look, and then read this poem on page 1. All right. Talk to you guys later.